Ah, hey guys, my name's Alberto. Welcome to Pro Wrestling Classic. Here we are for another installment, another episode. And this episode is going to be about the pro wrestler, or AKA the man called Sting. I'm going to go over his career. This is going to be a part one of part two series. Hope you check out the part two. Let's get part Let's get started with part one of Sting, shall we? Um, Sting's career. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Sting's career. Um, it started off with an old time wrestler called Red Bastien. I believe they call him the Flying Redhead. I believe he was like a good guy wrestler, a face, baby face. The story goes that Red Bastien, he was asked to come up with seven wrestlers, but he was in a I'm not sorry, not seven wrestlers, seven bodybuilders, and they were all supposed to become pro wrestlers, but most of them quit, and there was only like two left. It was seven through nine, something like that, but there was only two that went on to have pro wrestling careers. Would be um, Sting, real name Steve Borden, I think, and Jim Hellwick, which will become the Ultimate Warrior. Now they survived, and they tagged Sting with Jim Hellwick, and they started off as the Freedom Fighters or something like that. I saw a video where they had like overalls or something like that, colorful one. I don't know, like yellow or something. That was weird. They were being interviewed. Um, they started like in Memphis or somewhere around there, and then after they were still tag team, and then they ended up in Mid South Wrestling. Um, and they put them to, and here they changed them, and they changed them to be the coolest name ever, a tag team, the Blade Runners. And so it was Thing was Sting, and then Jim Hellwick, I believe they call them Rock. They painted their faces like the Road Warriors. Um, they were a powerhouse team, and when they wrestled in Memphis, they had said that they were pretty green. You know, they didn't know much, and the wrestling. Not to say it was horrible, but they were green. They were barely starting, and now in Mid South, they were there wrestling, and they were wrestling with brute force, using clotheslines and body slams and doing power moves. After they were, I think they wrestled for some months or something, and then they split up. Um, Jim Hellwick, former known as Rock, went to, I believe, the WCCW to be the Dingo Warrior, and Sting stayed on Mid South and joined um what's his face, he was married to Missy Hyatt. What was his name? Eddie Gilbert, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert Corporation. So like they joined their faction with Missy Hyatt. Then and there is more. I did see a video with Sting, and he was talking about AKA Rock, AKA Jim Hildwick, AKA the Warrior. That when they were a tag team, this guy just split on them. He just bailed on them. So that's how Sting became to be on his own. So Mid South was gonna fold, and there were NWA Jim Crockett Promotions was gonna pick up wrestler. Was gonna buy it out, and it did. and they picked up Sting along with other wrestlers like Eddie Gilbert and Dr. Dusty Williams. So they go to NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions. Now there, Sting starts, and I seen one of his matches when he just started with the NWA. He did not use a Scorpion Deadlock. He just used like first finishing move. He would use like regular moves and stuff. Um, I did remember Sting going against the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik had these bats or something, or clubs, where he would some endurance thing. He would go like this with them. He challenged Sting to one of those battles. I don't remember what happened. It was just something stupid. I don't even think Sting even tried. And then I know Sting goes versus the Iron Sheik. They finally get in the ring to start their feud, and Sting squashes him real quick and beats him. The other rivalry is Sting versus the Great Muta. Um, Sting was a world television champion. He faces Great Muta. Um, I usually like to see when they wrestle. I did see some of the match, and Sting loses the belt to Muta under controversial circumstances. So Muta's television world takes the TV title from Sting. Oh, I'm sorry, and I didn't see this match, but I heard Sting won his WCW or television champion. He beat Mike Rotunda for that belt. That's what I heard, and I never got to see that match. I looked for it. I could not find it. Then he wrestles Great Muta, and he loses the belt in controversial fashion. I think he chased somebody and he got counted out. I don't know, something like that, or he got distracted or something like that. I had found the match and I couldn't find it again. um, so Sting loses the TV belt to the Great Muta, and then we get to, I think it's the first Clash of the Champions. He's gonna wrestle Flair for the belt, and there's some things I want to say about that. First, I heard that Sting did wrestle Flair before that. I don't know if they were in regular TV matches and stuff like that, but I think this is the first event where he's in a big event with Flair at the Clash of the Champions. So it was a big deal back then. And Jason Herby's there. It's from this old show called The Wonder Years. Some of you guys are probably be too young to know about this. You guys are around my age, you'll know about The Wonder Years of Jason Herby. Um, and then from Leave It to Beaver, Eddie Haskell, the old Leave It to Beaver. And then some other girl, and I think it was the girl from The Wonder Years, the sister of the main character. So they're there at ringside. So it's special. The match can be possibly said one of the greatest matches ever, but and it went like for I don't know, was it an hour, 42 minutes to an hour? It was a long match, I'll tell you that. You can't say it's a great one of the greatest matches. You can I would if you would say it's the greatest match ever. If you've seen this match, I wouldn't blame you. But Flair went hour matches like with several people, like hundreds of times probably. With Sting, Steamboat, Dusty Rhodes, and some were non-televised. They were in non-televised events. But Flair wrestled. Everybody knows he wrestled like he claims to have wrestled like more days than there was in a year. Um, so they go at it in the match. Stuff usually happens. Flair gets knocked out. He falls to the floor like he always does. He runs across the ring. He goes on the top rope. Sting gets him from going to the top rope and and does a gorilla slam on him. Same old stuff. Ole Anderson has claimed Ric Flair wrestles on the same matches all the time. Flair's gonna do his chops. Sting does his punches. Um, Flair's gonna do cheap shots to get the advantage. I remember this move Flair would do. He get you by the chin. You're sitting on your butt on the floor, and then Flair gets your chin from behind and starts punching like that, stuff like that. Chops. Sting claimed during that match his chest looked like hamburger meat. I've heard him say that, and yeah, you have to have endurance to have that match with Flair. So they wrestle the match for so long, and then it ends with Sting. Oh, at one point uh, they claim the announcers that said that Sting threw Flair over the top rope, and he went over those three people I told you about. One that was Eddie Asco and Jason Hervey, Missy Hyatt Squeeze at the time, and that other girl from the One Years. And they say that Sting threw Flair over those people. I don't know if it's true. You really don't see it on camera. You just see more like Flair falling to the floor. But the match is long and everything, and like everything I said came out, and it ends with Sting putting the Scorpion Deathlock on Flair, and Flair doesn't submit, and then they're counting down 10, like the time it had a time limit, television time limit or something like that, like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Flair doesn't submit to the Scorpion Deathlock. And of course, early in the match, Flair puts Sting in the figure four, and the Sting doesn't submit. At least at one point, he even powers out like yeah, out of the figure four or something, turns it over. It's like an Indian deathlock turned over. But like I said, I mean that happened in the middle of the match or something, and then like I said, um, Sting had Ric Flair and the Scorpion deadlock. Time limit goes off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flair doesn't submit. Flair's still the champion. And it shows at the end a circle thingy, a picture of Flair, and he's I don't not the winner, but he still keeps the belt. Some say that put Sting on the map. Um, Then we're gonna get to his other Sting's other rivalries. Um, he's gonna have like matches with Bobby Eaton, Arn Anderson all through his career. Beats him, of course. Um, Sting becomes a horseman. He helps Ric Flair fight some enemies out. He becomes a horseman. Then he goes at it with Flair again. Great American Bash. Uh, the Horsemen are known for. Well, actually, he becomes a horseman, but I believe at Starcade he beats Flair and he shakes his hand, but the Horsemen get mad because Sting defeated Flair. So they're gonna meet Sting somewhere, another Clash of Champions, something like that, and they're all gonna be in the ring. It's gonna be Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and Sting. I remember Sting was dressed black like a cowboy or something like that, and they said they're gonna go for the belt. Ric Flair doesn't like it. The Horsemen turn their back on Sting and they grab him and they hold on to him. They start beating on him. Flair's like, get rid of this business. Get out of this contract. And they start beating up on Sting. So they kick. So the Horsemen kick Sting out of the Horsemen. And then not too long after that, they come up with the dudes with the the dudes with the attitude, something like that. It's like Junkyard Dog, Paul Orndorff, I think. A few others that don't like the horsemen jumping and interfering in matches. And Rocky King was there and talking about dudes with attitude as well. Junkyard Dog. Um, and then comes a Great American Bash. Sting is in a face Flair. They started wrestling. Horseman sees that Ric Flair's in trouble. They're gonna run in the ring and try to interfere, but the dudes of attitude are there to stop them. I think even Elegantes with the dudes of attitude. They stop the Horseman, and then Sting rolls up. They have a good match, but Sting rolls up Flair with a roll up and pins him 1, 2, 3, and then Sting is a new world champion. Um, other notable. Um, oh, by the way, before I move on, I remember a Clash of Champions where there was a match with the Horsemen, Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair versus I think Great Muda, the Dragon Master, and I don't remember who the other one is. It was like Terry Funk or something. I don't remember. I don't think it was Terry Funk. I think it was somebody else. But I remember Sting ran to the ring to go try to beat up Flair, and the good guys would stop Sting from going. And Brian Pillman tried to. It was a cage match. And Sting was going up the cage. Brian Pillman comes and he tries to get Sting, and Sting slaps him in the face, get him out of the way. And I think Brian Pillman fell from the cage. Um, and the Horsemen win that match, and they do not allow Sting to get in the ring. Oh, and I forgot. I'm spitballing here, but I just remembered during the Horseman feud, they supposedly they didn't show it, but supposedly the Horseman hurt Sting's leg, like so he was injured and he could not wrestle for a while. Then they go to the bash at the I mean clash it. No, I'm sorry. Great American Bash, and Sting wins the title from Flair. So that there I finished saying about that. So Sting's champion. Um, I'm gonna go into other big feuds Sting had. I know Sting. He wrestles Ravishing Rick Rude. Sting had lost the belt. I don't know, maybe to Vader. Um, Sting is U.S. champion. I don't remember who he beat for U.S. champion, but I do remember that he he's gonna wrestle Rick Rude. Rick Rude wants Sting's U.S. belt, and something about Medusa popped out of a box or something like that, and they beat up Sting after that, or they injured Sting. Sting had a problem with his leg. I remember, yeah, that episode. Sting goes, they send Sting in an ambulance. I don't know, they hit him with a pipe or something. I don't remember, but I know they injured his leg. He goes out in an ambulance, and Rick Rude's in the ring, and he's like, "All right, referee, count it out, count him out, ring the bell." And then supposedly the ambulance brought Sting back because he wanted to come back and wrestle, and Rick Rude defeats Sting because of his bad leg. Sting does a valiant effort to beat Rick Rude, but to no avail. And Sting beats him because of his bad leg and pins him 1, 2, 3. And now Rick Rude is United States heavyweight champion. Another notable, probably one of the most notable feuds Sting has is with Vader. That'd be close to next to Flair, as big matches. Vader comes on the scene and wrestles Sting for the belt. Um, Vader overpowers Sting, hits him with his patented glove shots. Boom, boom, boom. I know at one point Sting gets behind Vader and suplexes him, but Sting tries to use evasion, which he can't match power for Vader. Vader's much stronger. Sting tries to avoid him and stuff like that, doing hit and run moves and stuff like that. Coming up with good strategy, but he loses the belt to Vader. Um, they have sometimes they have different matches. I think the one time they had a bull rope match. I'm not sure about that, but I know they switched the belts. I believe Sting beats Vader for the first King of Cable belt. I believe Vader becomes King of Cable some other time. And then you got Battle Bowl. The Battle Bowl was awesome. They had I believe they had three in total. They had three Battle Bowls, but the first Battle Bowl, it's when they get three rings. They have like a battle. No, actually, first they have like tag matches, mixed tag matches. You don't know who your partner's gonna be. It could be friend or foe. They pick your name out of a like a bowl or something, and you do tag team matches, and then and then they do like I think it's a two ring battle bowl. I'm sorry, I was gonna say three rings. I'm thinking about World War Three, but no, it's battle bowl. Two rings full of wrestlers. All the wrestlers need to, if they uh they get thrown from one ring to the other. The rules are kind of complex, but usually it comes out to um, um, I think it could be that if there's wrestlers in two rings and the last man standing in the first ring is gonna fight the last man standing in the second ring, and I believe in I believe Sting is one of the last ones, and he goes against Vader, I think, and then they eliminate Rick Rude, and then Rick Rude comes in and gives Sting a cheap shot Rude Awakening while he's already been eliminated. You can't do that, but it happens, and then he ends up fighting Vader, I believe, and he beats Vader, and then Sting is the first Battle Bowl champion. So Sting, they give you a ring too. They gave ring Sting a late ring. I think they didn't have the ring yet. And they gave it to him in another episode or whatever. So Sting has been the television champion, U.S. champion, world champion, and now he's a Battle Bowl winner. And then he faces Vader in some other pay per view. Something about the cold. They even had Sting flying in a helicopter in the cold mountains or something. It's all snowy. I forgot what that one was called. I think Sting won that one against Vader. After that, I remember Sting. He had a he had a feud with Jake the Snake Roberts. Who can forget? Spin the wheel, make a deal. Uh, One episode, Jake Roberts arrives in WCW, and he sneaks attacks Sting, starts beating up Sting, and then there goes a feud. Then you have Halloween Havoc. I believe it was Halloween Havoc. Spin the wheel, make a deal. So they're gonna spin the wheel, and Sting's gonna land on the coal miner's glove match, and they're gonna have the match at a pay per view. They do, and Sting, the Snake gets involved somehow, and then Sting got the coal miner's glove, I believe, and he hits Jake, and then Jake lands into a snake or something, starts biting him. Excuse me. And I believe, yeah, Sting came out on top on that in that feud. Um, Sting has some run-ins with the Dangerous Alliance. I remember it was Sting. It was a Clash of Champions. Sting and Steamboat versus Steamboat and Rick Rude, I believe. They injured they injured Steamboat really bad after that match. I think they ended up hitting him with a strap or a belt. The cage match, Sting and others. I don't remember all of them, but I know that the Dangerous Alliance. The Dangerous Alliance was like Larry Zbyszko, um, Stunning Steve Austin, aka Stone Cold Steve Austin, before he went over there. Bobby Eaton, Rick Rude, versus some good guys like Sting and probably like Dustin Rhodes and Flying Brian. I think it was Flying Brian. They get into that match, and then in that match, Larry Zbyszko accidentally hits Bobby Eaton with a turnbuckle. And Bobby Eaton, somebody gets a hold of Bobby Eaton's arm, the one they hit with a turnbuckle, and Bobby Eaton submits. And that was the two ring battle royal. The what's it called? War Games. I believe Sting was in that match. He's usually into the War Games, and then we have the NWO invades, and Sting gets the famous Sting change where he turns to this Sting, because before he had he usually painted his face red, white, and blue or whatever. And NWO invades with Scott Hall coming out on Nitro, and we have like a scene where there's a limousine and supposedly Sting's in there. They're looking for Sting. Lex Luger goes, and then there comes out Sting, and believe he hits Lex Luger with a bat, and we all think it's Sting, but it's not. It's gonna later be known as NWO Sting. And then this Sting comes out one time on TV and says, "You know what's for sure? That nothing's for sure." And that's the last time he really talked for a long time. And he becomes this Sting, and he starts coming for the Raptor. He ends up being like looking like the Crow with a cape or a trench coat, all black. Looks really cool with a bat. And then we get the NWO with the Hogan, Nash, Hall. Sting is gonna finally come into run-ins with them. Start start beating them up. I'm pretty sure. I'm like sure he beats Scott Hall in the match. There's a lot of things going on. Sting finally comes out, says they're like asking what he wants, and he says he wants Hulk Hogan is champion at the time with the NWO, and he wants Hogan, and he gets a match with Hogan. He beats Hogan for the belt. He beats other people too. He beats he runs. He has matches like with Goldberg, even good guys, Diamond Dallas Page, and really good matches like that. And I believe he beats the Giant from the NWO. I remember he went. I believe he beat the Giant with Scorpion Death. He has a new move, reverse DDT, Scorpion, because of the Scorpion Death Drop. He he climbs on top of the rope and he Scorpion Death drops the Giant. So really cool. He beats the Giant that way. And he has all these runs in with the NWO. At one time, he gets in the ring and starts hitting everybody from the NWO and supposedly beats them all up. Okay. But Sting is really cool, man. I like NWO Sting. He's way cooler than the regular Sting. Um, so yeah, he has a battles with the NWO. I'm not sure if he wrestles Bret Hart. I think he wrestles Bret Hart one time, but it's like a short match. Um, so there's a lot to say about Sting. I know I didn't mention a lot, but I try to mention the big stuff, because his career goes forever. That's why I'm gonna have to do a two-part series. Um, so this is gonna conclude my. I'm already going on 30 minutes, but I could go forever about his career. Um, this is gonna conclude my Sting Part One series. There's gonna be a Part Two coming up. I hope you enjoyed this video I have of Sting of his illustrious career. I hope you stay tuned for and watch the second one, and hope you had fun. Um, hey man, if you like my videos, I need subscribers. We need let's get this pro wrestling um, group started. Let's get it to grow, so we could talk. I could do more. I can get more. The reason I get subscribers, I can't get monetized, so I'm not gonna get paid nothing because of my location. YouTube already told me. So I'm doing this just to have a fan base, so we can have fun, and I can do live streams. I get more people, so we can do live streams and talk about wrestling, and that's my goal. I hope you guys help me out. You help me out, I help you out. What you're gonna do is again, we get the live streams going. We have a lot of fun talking about wrestling content, about anything. I prefer NWA and AEW. I'm not much of a WWE fan, but I will talk about it. I'll talk about it. The Attitude Era. If I like anything about WWE, it was the Attitude Era. That's about it. But I will talk about current events in WWE or whatever. But I'm mainly an NWA guy, AEW, and the current status of wrestling. I like TNA too, or now it's called Impact Wrestling. Okay, I babbled enough. I hope you enjoyed my video about Sting, part one. Hope you stick around for part two. Look out for it. I'll try to announce it on my channel for you subscribers. And and till next time, but I'll leave you with this: the world will never be a perfect place, but we can all make it better. Till next time, this is Alberto from Sting. Signing off. Take care. Bye.